Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how I've made my ruffle scarf. And this was a scarf I made a little while ago. I crocheted this scarf after making some knitted ruffle scarf, and I will do a tutorial for both of those, the knitted, and I'm going to crochet another one with that same yarn. But I've got to figure out how to use that. It's a lot more intricate than this. So this one is a design that I've come up with, and I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm going to show you how to make a scrunchie for Christmas. And I will tell you along the way how to get the scarf or do the scrunchie. Now, there is no stitch count with the scarf. You make it as long as you want. So just make your foundation chain the length that you need to make your scarf, because it doesn't really creep up at all. It is as long as you make the chain. So I'm going to set this aside just for a second. I've got a very bad cut on my arm, and I do hope you don't get to see it. But if you do, I apologise. So I've used this yarn, and it is one that I got in one of my search for yarns. And this, I do these videos every so often where I search for yarn on the high street. And I fell in love with this. It's called Serdar Suki. I'm not sure if, I bought all the lady had, so I'm not sure if it's a current yarn or not. But it has this sequin. You can see them just glinting there. But you can't feel the sequins. They don't feel scratchy or anything. So you can use any yarn you want, but this one is the one I'm going to make the scrunchie with. It is a lovely red for Christmas, and I think I've already started on this particular ball. I just happened to put the yarn band back. So I'm going to show you how to do this into kind of a Christmas scrunchie, but it's the same principle. Only not quite so involved. Okay, so this is, as I say, a DK weight. It's quite a thin one. The scarf, I used a 4mm crochet hook, but for this I'm going to use a 3.5. There's no absolute reason why, just happened to be one that I grabbed, and I figured it's fairly thin yarn, so that would be fine. So you just make a slip knot. Actually, that didn't go at all well. It is a yarn that splits quite easy. That is the only drawback to it. It's quite, as you can see, the actual strands separate quite often. So, yeah, I'm going to get my little scrunchie blank, and I'm going to chain into this and do my stitch. As if this was my line of work, I'm going to just go through this hoop. But if you're making a scarf, just make the chain the length that you want. If you're making a scrunchie, we go into the ring and pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all of the loops on your hook. And we do that again. We just go into the ring and make a UK double crochet, which is a single crochet in the US. We just keep doing that all the way around until we've got all the way around our ring. But you don't want gaps, so you do want to kind of bunch them up a little more. So we just keep going all the way around this scrunchie. These are the cheapy scrunchies that you can buy anywhere. Now, I do have some black ones that are brand new. Do you think I could find them anywhere? But it's quite good really to cover this one. This pink one has seen better days, so this will give it a new lease of life. And you can make this whatever size you want as well. So if you've got a smaller child, you can use a smaller little ring, but the principle is the same. So as I said, we do want to keep these stitches tight, so pull them along and just keep making UK doubles or US single crochets through that loop all the way around until we get to the start again. But obviously you don't want them loose. So I'm going to pause it because that would be quite boring watching me do that. And I'm going to come back to you when I've gone all the way around. Okay, so I've got all the way around. I'm sorry if you can hear the rain. It is pretty bad out there today. Very gloomy and very rainy. Let's just go down a little bit with my camera. So I'm going to do a separate tutorial for the scarf, because after all that is quite a bit different. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into our first stitch. So we've gone all the way around, and if you want you can now work over the tail. So we've got nice tight stitches all the way around the scrunchie, and we're going to chain 2, and that will count as a stitch for this particular tutorial. And in that same space we are going to do another 3 UK trebles. So that's through 2 and through 2, and we're going to do 3 more in that same space. So altogether we have 4 stitches in that one space. Now in the next one I'm going to do 3. I'm working over that tail as I go, getting rid of that. If I don't drop it, that is. Okay, so in the next one I'm going to do 4, working over the tail. It will get quite bunched up, but that's the idea. Okay, now in the next one, you guessed it, we're going to do 3. Now I did try some swatches, and I tried doing 4 in each. I tried doing 3 in each. I didn't like either of those, so I decided to alternate it between 4 and 3, and I got the best result. So next you just want to carry on doing that all the way around. 4 in the next stitch, then 3 in the one after that. And it will get tight. After a while it will start to ruffle. Got one more to do in there. I'm nearly over this tail. You could, if you want, just cut that off now, but we'll carry on. I think I've gone over the rest. It's just that little bit left. So in the next I'm doing 3. Okay, so I'm going to continue. You can see it's starting to S now. I can't get those little S shapes like this. Now I'm going to continue 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4 all the way around, and it doesn't matter which. I started with a 4. I don't necessarily have to end with a 3. It really doesn't matter that much. But I'm going to do that all the way around, and I'll catch up with you when we get back to the start. Okay, so I've got all the way around, and it looks a bit like this. So it looks a lot like this actually. So I'm going to slip stitch into my very first one. There's the 2 chain I started with. So I'm just going to go into the top and slip stitch into there. Now some people might like the way that looks already, but I think it needs a bit of improvement. So I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do 1 in the same place as the 2 chain came out of, and I'm going to do 2 in each stitch all the way around. Make it a bit chunkier. So it's 2 in each one until I get all the way back to the start again. So again, I'm going to pause the video because it would be a bit on the boring side watching me do 2 in every single one of these stitches, because as you can see, there's now quite a lot of stitches to go around. Okay, so again, I'm all the way back round, and I'm going to slip stitch into that top chain there. But this time I'm going to end off this yarn. So I'm going to leave a nice long tail though, only because it's easier to see, because I'm going to work over it with my next round. But you don't have to do another round. This yarn is a challenge, for sure. I don't even know where that part is to bring it through. Never mind. I'm sure it'll be fine if I just... What on earth has happened to it? See what I mean? It's very splitty, but it's so pretty. I didn't mind. It wasn't too bad while I was working with it. So now I've ended off. This is what you're left with. And that's why I want to do 2 rows, because it is nice and full and ruffly. Now you can leave it like that with a nice red sparkly scrunchie. If you want it maybe kind of Valentine's or any other time, you could edge it with something shocking pink or black. But because it's a Christmas scrunchie this time, I'm going to edge it in some fluff. And this was one that I just happened to get free some time ago in a magazine I never used. So I figured, you know, it'd be perfect because there's probably just enough to go round. And it is a nice thin one, so it's not going to leave a huge kind of big bulky top to it. Okay, so you can join it at the same place or anywhere you like, to be honest. I like joining at a different part because I only want to work over one tail at a time. So I'm just going to bring in this yarn and I'm going to do a chain with my tail and my working yarn, so holding both. And then in each stitch, I'm just going to do a simple UK double crochet or single crochet in the US. So I'm just going to go in each one and just do this. I know some people don't like to work with furry yarns, but it's nice and simple because you're only doing 1 row. Now, if you wanted to, you could do a half treble like this, and it would be a little bit of a fatter end on you know, as a border all the way around. I'll do a few and then you can see the difference. But it really is dependent upon the yarn that you've got to edge it. So you can either have it either way. It doesn't really matter. It's not making a massive difference to it. Just a little bit bulkier on that part. So it's whatever you prefer as an edging. I think I prefer the half trebles. So I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to start again. Just play with it really and see which you prefer. So again, I'm going to join it. If it was a thicker kind of fluffy yarn, I'm just going to cinch that down this time because I'm going to do my first one in the same stitch. And there we go. I'm going to go all the way around, going in each stitch just the once this time, and do a half treble, which is a half double US, a half treble in the UK, in every single stitch all the way around, hoping that I have enough yarn. I'll be playing yarn chicken because it is one small ball, and now I do have rather a lot of stitches. So that's all I'm going to do all the way around. So I'm going to pause it then, and I will catch up with you when I get back to the start if I have enough yarn. Wish me luck, guys. Well, you'll be pleased to know I made it back with lots of yarn to spare. Won the yarn chicken. Okay, so now I'm back at the beginning and I just need to slip stitch into that first one and end off. And because I worked over my tails as I went, that is my only tail that I have to work over. But there it is. This is my festive Christmas scrunchie. Now, obviously, you can make this any colour you want. And you can edge it in anything you want. You don't have to edge it in fur. A nice little silver edge or something would have looked great. But as you can see, there it is, all done. Well, I hope you like that. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to watch out for the ruffle scarf, which if you made the scrunchie without the Christmassy edging, it would match. So you'd have a scrunchie to match your scarf. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.